Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to discuss about cranial nerve examination. So before we go for examination, first to know about what are the cranial nerve present in our body. So first one is the olfactory nerve, second one is the optic, third one is the oculomotor, then trochlear, trigeminal, abducens, facial, vestibulocochlear, glossopharyngeal, vagus, a spinal accessory and hypoglossal nerve. So we know about what are the sensory, what are the mix, and what are the motor nerve. So olfactory, which is a cranial nerve, one is a sensory, pure sensory nerve. Optic is pure sensory. Oculomotor is motor, pure motor nerve. Trochlear is pure motor nerve. Trigeminal is both sensory and motor. Abducens is motor. Facial is mix. Vestibulocochlear is sensory. Glossopharyngeal is mix. Vagus is mix. Accessory is motor and hypoglossal is motor. So first we go for the olfactory nerve. So it mainly helps for smell detection. So for how we can go for taste olfactory nerve. So first we sit a patient in a couch, then ask to close his or her eye. Then we smell him odor, strong odor, subject like coffee, lemon oil, perfume, orange. If he or she can detect which object it is by smelling, then it's his olfactory nerve is good. If he or she can't smell and can't say which object it is, then that is a defect of olfactory nerve. Then you go for the optic nerve. So optic nerve mainly supply our eye. So there is two type of test for optic nerve. First one is the central test. Then second one is the peripheral. So for central we have visual acuity. Like we have a Snell's chart. So we set a patient around 20 feet distance of a Snell's chart and we ask to read the letter which is written in a Snell's chart. If a patient can read, then so visual acuity is perfect. And we can test also the color vision by coloring the letters. Then we go for the second one is the peripheral test. So for peripheral test we test the visual field. So no eyeball movement, only the pen move from 90-degree left to right, up, down, or you can use your finger for this. Then if a person can detect the or his eyeball move from left, right, up, down with your hand, then his visual field is okay. So it was a peripheral test of optic nerve. A patient can do, then his or her optic nerve is good. Then we have some pupillary reflex. It is a combination of cranial nerve 2 and 3. If a sudden light is fall on your eye, then the pupil get constricted. It considered as normal. If it is not constricted, then it is abnormal. Then we go for the third one is the oculomotor nerve. So oculomotor nerve mainly supply the levator palpebral superis, superior rectus, inferior oblique, inferior rectus. These are the muscle of eye which supply by oculomotor nerve. Then we have trochlear nerve which supply the superior oblique muscle. Then the abducens nerve which is cranial nerve 6 which supply the lateral rectus muscle. So the three nerve are tested in a single test. So before we go for the testing, first to know about the muscle of eye movement. What are the muscle of eye movement? So superior rectus helps for adductor and medial rotator of eye. Then inferior rectus help for adductor and lateral rotation of eye. Medial rectus help for adduction of eye and lateral rotation help for abduction of eye. So after that we have do the eyeball movement by using a pen like up, down, right, left. We can move the pen and a patient can move eyeball with your pen. Then if patient can do, then it's three nerve okay. If there is a defect, if a defect in 3, then you can see the first picture. If defect in cranial nerve 4, then patient can't do this movement, and if defect in 6th cranial nerve, then patient having this type of movement. Okay, then we go for the trigeminal nerve. So it consists of two components, one is motor, another is sensory. So What are the sensory branches? Of sensory branches like ophthalmic branch, maxillary branch, and mandibular branch. So we can test the sensory part using a curtain or pin. We discuss about how to check a sensory in a sensory examination video, so you can see there. Then we go for the jaw reflex, which is the motor part of trigeminal nerve. So for there is two things to check. First one is the cleansing of teeth or jaw tight. If a person can do it properly, then his her trigeminal nerve is perfect. If they can't do, then there is something defect in the trigeminal nerve. Then the second one is the jaw jerk. So we just palpate the jaw and just put the hammer, and if patient having the jerk, so then they have presence of motor part of the trigeminal nerve. Then we have facial nerve test. So it is a seventh cranial nerve. So it's apply the facial muscle. So just crease up a forehead, keep your eye closed against resistance, smile. You can do all the facial movement by check for the facial nerve test. All the facial expression you can check by resistance also, and in corneal reflex also you can test in this for this nerve. Then go for the vestibulocochlear nerve. It has two component. One is the vestibular component, another is the cochlear component. For checking a vestibular part, make the patient stand with eye closed. If a patient maintain the balance, then vestibular part is normal. And for the cochlear part, we have two tests. First one is Riney test, second one is the Weber's test. So what is Riney test? We have to check two things: air conduction and bone conduction by using a tuning fork. We vibrate the tuning fork and hear the patient which sound they feel more. First one is the air conduction by just put in the side of her ear or his ear the tuning fork, they can hear the sound. And second one, the bone conduction can do how. So vibrate the tuning fork and make it in a place it in a mandibular bone. Then ask the patient which sound you can hear more. If patient having air conduction more than bone conduction, then patient's cochlear is normal and Riney test is negative. And if patient having more hearing of bone conduction as compared to air conduction, or hear more bone conduction is more, then it may be a case of conductive loss. Then we test Weber test in the next. So just vibrate the tuning fork and place in the vertex, and if patient having same vibration in both the ear, then the cochlear nerve is okay. And if the conductivity loss, then the same ear having less vibration, or if sensorineural loss, the opposite ear having less vibration. Then next one is the glossopharyngeal nerve, which mainly supply our tongue muscle. So for this we can test the gag reflex. You can see the uvula is in midline or not. Then for vagus nerve, it mainly supply all the muscle of our all the organs of our body. Then for this test, we just test the sound, ask the patient to make sound, and we can check the uvula is in midline or not. We can check the gag reflex. We can check the voice. And for glossopharyngeal nerve, we have something like for test the posterior 1/3 of the tongue, also the sensory part of the glossopharyngeal nerve we can check. Then we go for the spinal accessory, which mainly supply the sternocleidomastoid and trapezius muscle. So we just give some resistance in this muscle and test the manual muscle, like manual muscle testing, and we know which type of maybe it affected or not. If it affected, then there is something problematic in spinal accessory nerve. Then last one is the hypoglossal nerve, which mainly supply the tongue. So what are the movement of tongue and which muscle done which movement? First to know about it. So protrusion is done by genioglossus nerve, retraction is done by styloglossus nerve, depression is done by hypoglossus nerve, elevation is done by palatoglossus nerve, and change in shape done by intrinsic muscle. So you can see all the movement of the tongue, like tongue protrusion, retraction, elevation, depression. Ask the patient to do just all the movement. If patient can do, then his or her hypoglossal nerve is okay. If there is defect, then they can't do the tongue movement properly. Thank you.